Hello Monstaz! Thanks for stopping by. Now tonight we have a very special story to share with you. Tonight's featured story is written and narrated by Dissing Creeps, and featuring moi, yeah man. So Monstaz, what I would like you to do after the story, or anytime during the story, be sure to go visit her channel. And if you like her creepy and chilling content, be sure to subscribe to her. I'm sure she would really appreciate it. Now, tonight's featured story follows a young female. A female out for blood. Well, I wonder whose blood that may be. Well, I guess we'll have to find out. So Monstaz, without further ado, let the featured story begin.
Cold Killer. Woman of Blood. I was at my job at the restaurant, sitting by the bar. It was my night off, but I couldn't stay at home. I needed distractions, anything to keep my mind off things. I could still hear Michael's painful scream in my head, even though it was 2 weeks ago since the incident happened. I couldn't quite decide if I was enjoying it or if it made me uncomfortable, but I had to do it. We all hate cheaters in this world, right? So why do I feel this way? I remember the rush I had. I became someone different, someone powerful, someone cold. They couldn't continue doing what they were doing. My life has always been hell. Why should they be happy while I suffered? Why do I still hear him in my head? Why do I still hate so damn much? It's not fair.
Whoa there!
Someone said.
Beer mugs are for drinking, not for smashing.
Beer was spilled all over the bar where I sat. I looked up and saw a guy staring at me with a wide smile on his face. He had piercing blue eyes and blonde, almost white hair. I couldn't stop staring at him.
You know, you can take a picture if you want. It'll last longer.
I blinked a few times and came back to reality. Oh, sorry, I said with cheeks red as tomatoes.
You must be Cindy,
he said and threw a towel over his shoulder and reached his hand out to me.
I'm Jared, the new bartender.
Oh, right. The new guy, I said and shook his hand. I'm sorry for the mess.
It's alright,
he said and started collecting the shards from the broken mug.
Do you normally smash beer mugs or are you just having a bad day?
I looked at him probably more intensely than I should have.
Okay, sorry I asked.
I started to feel bad. I haven't felt a guilty conscience ever since I found out about Michael cheating with Angie. I'm sorry. I'm just dealing with some personal shit right now.
That's cool. We all have our shit to deal with,
he said and smiled. He made it sound like what I've done or what I felt was a normal thing. For some reason, it irritated me. Suddenly, a flash took over my eyes. I saw Jared with his head on the floor and a knife through his neck. One of his eyes were popped out. It was touching the ground with a little pocket knife through it, but it was still attached to his head, and he still blinked. I panicked. I quickly jumped down from the bar stool and took the broom from the corner behind the door. I started to sweep the shards together on the floor. I felt his eyes on me, but I tried not to look at him. I didn't need this. Not now. I picked up the shards with my hands and went through the door leading to the kitchen. People were too busy to realize I came in, which was perfect for me. I quickly ran through the busy chefs and waitresses and threw the shards in the trash can on the way. I didn't stop. I just kept walking until I ended outside behind the restaurant. Oh, what a fucking day, I said and leaned up against the wall. What the hell is happening to me? I was about to rub my face until I realized they were covered in blood and cuts. The shards, I didn't even feel them cut me. The sight of my bloody hands made me think about that night. when I felt the newly poured out blood from Michael's neck, and how it sparkled so beautifully in the light. I slowly raised my bloody hand towards my face and looked at the blood closely. I almost admired it, but it seemed different for some reason. Michael's blood was filled with color, life, fear. Mine looked dark, boring, normal. For some reason, I grew curious to how it might. I opened my mouth and let my tongue fall out. I gently put one of my fingers on my tongue and licked it from the bottom up. It tasted like iron, but also sweet, like strawberry sauce. My heart started beating faster and faster. I started sweating and my knees grew weak. My head felt like little bugs were crawling around in my brain, and I felt at peace. Finally. But it was only one lick, and the peace was short-lived.
Oh my God.
I quickly looked over towards the voice and saw Jared staring at me with a terrified look. Jared, I tried to figure out an explanation for this, even though I didn't even understand it. It's not...
You're bleeding. Here, let me help you.
He walked up towards me and examined my hands. His hands felt warm. I could almost feel his pulse through his fingers. I could still taste my blood on my tongue, and I couldn't really focus. My mouth started to water. It's fine, I said. I'm good.
No, you're not. There's blood on the kitchen floor and out here. You've lost a lot of blood.
I looked down and saw my blue pants had been covered in blood. I felt my head get heavier and heavier, and my balance started to fail me. Shit. I had trouble standing up.
Okay, that's it. You're going to the hospital.
I panicked and pushed him away, but I forgot about the cuts on my hand. The pain felt like a needle stabbing into my hands and wrists with lightning speed. Ow! I moved my hands to my stomach. I'm not going to a hospital.
But you're bleeding.
I'm not going to a hospital.
Alright, but let me at least drive you home.
He said and looked straight into my eyes.
I just got off my shift anyways.
Why were he being so nice? And why the fuck didn't he just leave me alone? Who told him that Oh, shit. My head started to hurt. Fine.
Wait out here. I'll go get my stuff.
I quickly opened the door and ran inside. As soon as the door closed, I tried running towards the street, but my feet didn't seem to work with me. I couldn't move them. I started to feel irritated, and I wanted to scream. I haven't slept in forever. I just wanted peace. This is not how it was supposed to be. I felt powerless. Even the blood on my hand started to thicken up. Everything just seemed to be against me. Maybe I should let someone else take over.
Okay, are you ready?
Someone more powerful. Just one more time. Yeah, I'm ready. Jared grabbed my waist and swung my arm over his shoulder. We started walking, and my feet worked instantly this time. I was almost eager to get into his car, which was a little weird for me, but I also was curious on what tonight had to offer. We approached a small light blue vehicle. It only had 2 seats, and the roof was pulled back.
It's my mom's.
He said, embarrassed.
Her and my dad are on vacation, so I'm taking care of this manly car.
Sure, I said. Very manly. He opened the door and helped me to get inside the car. I felt claustrophobic immediately, but I was determined to do this. I needed the peace. As we pulled out the parking lot, I could feel him staring at me a couple of times. I just kept my focus on the road, but his blue eyes were easy to see at the corner of my eyes.
You okay?
I'm fine. Just keep going forward. He was a fit guy and I was weak. How could I do this without ending up losing more of my own blood? I looked at him and was discreetly studying him. We pulled up to the parking lot next to my apartment building. I had to get him in somehow. I raised my hand, resting the back of it on my forehead. "Oh, I feel so dizzy," I said and tried to sound as pathetic as possible.
Oh, I can help you up if you like.
Bingo. "Really? You'd do that? I really appreciate it." He smiled and unbuckled his seatbelt. Either he was really naive or I was really good at this. Either way, this was going smoothly. As soon as he helped me out the car, he swung my arm over his shoulder and grabbed the side of my waist once again. I couldn't wait for us to reach my place. I needed to know if this guy could give me peace, if this was the way I had to fix my problems from now on. The hallways were empty and not a sound were to be heard. This could be a problem. Knowing my neighbors, any suspicious sounds or people will make them call the police immediately. I guess I had to do this quietly. We finally approached my door, and I started to find my keys in my purse. My hands felt sticky and dirty from the blood, which now had been dried up and gone crunchy. I unlocked the door and we headed in.
Wow.
He said and looked around.
Nice place.
I knew he was lying because my place hadn't had a clean hand in a while. "Thanks," I said and hanged my jacket in the closet. I tried figuring out how I could get this guy tied up without any fight. How to sedate him. I then realized I still had some roofies in my bag from my visit at Michael's 2 weeks ago. Perfect. "Just take a seat. I just need to get the first aid kit," I said and went into my bedroom. I didn't even look at him on the way. I didn't even care. He was going to be mine, whether he liked it or not. I went into my black gym bag and found a little mint container where I stashed the roofies in. They were even just as small as mints. A couple of these were enough to knock a person out for an hour or two, so it was perfect. I pushed them down my pocket and got the first aid kit from the bottom of my wardrobe. "Let's do this," I said and took a deep breath. Even though I felt a little dizzy, I was smiling. I was finally happy again. Jared looked at me and the first aid kit with a concerned look. His empathy really struck a nerve with me. My hand started shaking, and I quickly put the kit down on the table in front of him. "I'll just go wash my hands," I said and gave him a fake smile. I was nervous. As I went to the kitchen, I couldn't help but to feel like a teenager getting ready for prom, and Jared was my prom date, waiting on the couch to see the beauty he'd never forget. My hands felt cold under the water that now rinsed the blood away from the wounds. For some reason, this made me sad, almost disappointed. The cuts were deep and open. I could see the muscle tissue split every time I opened my hands.
"Do you know what to do?"
I heard a voice say in my head. "Yeah," I said, "I do."
"Just remember, you don't have Angie's brother to help you this time,"
it said.
"You need to do all the work yourself."
"I will. I know what I'm doing." I took 2 glasses from a cupboard. One was blue and one was red. Then took 2 sodas out of the fridge. I poured the sodas up and took out the little mint case. My heart was beating hard in my chest. I took a few out of my hand and held it over the blue glass. One pill fell in. Another one.
"You sure want him knocked out, huh?"
the voice said. Yep. I saw the pills fizzle in the soda and quickly got smaller and smaller. And poof, they were gone.
Cindy,
I quickly pushed a mint case in my pocket.
are you all right in there?
I'm fine, I yelled. I was just fixing some drinks. He opened the door and peeked into the kitchen with big puppy eyes. This is probably where people with a heart would feel bad and change their minds, but my heart had been broken and stabbed too many times for me to do that. I only felt the urge to feel that power I felt 2 weeks ago. Just one more time. I reached the blue glass out to him and smiled. Here you go, I said. He took the glass and smiled back.
Thanks,
he said. He raised the glass up to his lips and touched them gently. I couldn't stop staring at them. He took a sip and I stood and was anxiously looking at him. He made a face like he didn't really expect the taste.
What if he doesn't want it? One sip is not enough, Cindy,
the voice said. To my relief, he took another sip and another. He drank the whole thing. I couldn't help but to smile.
So, are you, originally from here?
He started having trouble keeping his head straight. His eyes quickly started to blink slower and slower. His balance was failing him. It was only a matter of time.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
I could feel the adrenaline kick in, and I could finally focus. I started finding stuff like trash bags, newspapers, anything that could spare me some cleanup time. It was time to be me. Why is he taking so long to wake up? I mumbled and was pacing back and forth. 2 hours had passed and I'd already covered most of the floor with plastic and newspapers. I had taken his shirt off and laid him down on his stomach with his feet and hands tied together. I wanted to see every detail of what I was about to do with him. I had covered his mouth with his shirt wrapped around his head. Wake up already, I said, frustrated, and looked out the window. The sun was about to come up, which meant people would start to wake up. Fuck, if this goes wrong.
What about those wake-up thingies Angie's brother gave you?
The voice said in my head. The ammonia inhalants. I quickly ran into my bedroom. I digged in my bag and found a small gray cardboard box. It still had a few drops of blood on it. There it is, I said and opened it. Time to wake up, Jared. I took the box with me and put them next to my display of knives. I took an inhaler out and cracked it. I sat on top of Jared's back and slowly let it slide under his nose. He woke up instantly, almost jumped off the floor. I laid the inhaler beside my knives and quickly took one of them up. I pulled his hair back, making him look up, so his neck was exposed, and placed the knife in front of his Adam's apple. Scream and I'll cut that Adam's apple out of your neck. Got it? He slowly nodded. I untied his shirt off his head.
What the?
He looked around with his baggy blue eyes.
What in the hell is going on? Did you tie me up?
Shh, I said. This isn't about you right now.
What? What are you talking about?
He started moving around, panicking. I couldn't help but to hum a little. I felt happy.
Why are you doing this?
Do you really want to know? I asked him. Man hurts woman, woman gets hurt, and woman goes on a fucking killing spree. I used my body weight and pushed down his head to the floor.
You're crazy, bitch,
he said.
When did I hurt you? I've done nothing but help you.
I know, I said and leaned back. And that's what's so funny. I thought I just hated assholes, but really it's because I leaned over to his ear. I just hate you all so damn much. I pushed his head down and heard a thump noise coming from his head hitting the floor as I let go.
Why do you hate us so much?
He said and kept his head on the floor.
Who hurt you so damn bad that you need to do this?
It's none of your business.
I'm about to die because of your lack of people skills.
He yelled, crying.
You better tell me why.
I was frozen. The way he said it, I had trouble getting back that lust for power I had before.
Oh, so we're letting people telling us what to do now, huh?
The voice said in my head.
A guy gives you a couple of teary puppy eyes and you're already getting soft.
For fuck's sake, please tell me.
Oh, he keeps telling you what to do.
Tell me!
He's being really naughty.
Tell me! Tell me, you
Shut
psycho!
up! I sat with my two hands around the handle of the knife, which was now jammed into his neck. The sound of his blood filling his throat calmed me down almost immediately. I felt a wave of something taking over my body, giving me a feeling of peace. Like an addict getting a hit after a long time of withdrawal. I told you, I closed my eyes and enjoyed every second of this feeling, not to scream. I heard him fighting to breathe, but his own blood was choking him. I stared at his piercing blue eyes and waited for the life to leave him. He looked back at me with fear, and one single tear ran down his bloody nose. His pupils started to dilate and almost pushed away all the beautiful blue color. My body started to shiver, and I fell on the floor beside him. My head was lying in a warm pool of blood, and it felt like a liquid of peace and pleasure. I stroked my finger around the wound on his neck and moved it to my mouth. I pulled out my tongue and licked the blood right off my finger. Another wave of power hit me. I felt like I was getting stronger and more energized. This is who I am, and this is who I was meant to be. A woman of blood.
Alright monsters, as I check myself, yes, I'm okay. I really hope you guys enjoyed the story. This story was one of my favorites to collaborate on, and Dissing Creeps did a wonderful job writing it and also narrating the story. So again, if you like to go visit her, be sure to click right here to go visit her channel. A link to her channel will also be in the description below. I'm sure you'll find some very chilling and tantalizing things that go on that channel. Also, have you ever found yourself being creeped on or something of that nature? If you have, why not share it in the comments below? And while you're down there, be sure to hit that like button. Because if you hit that like button, I mean like within a second, you're gonna get the ability to float. Not fly, I'm sorry. But you'll be able to float around like a bubble. Okay monsters, well again, big shouts out to all of you. And if you haven't done so, be sure to subscribe to YaMan TV and become a monster today. And like always, monsters, till next time.